Hello and good day. Mayor Jeff Schielke reporting to you on Friday, November 20th, 2020. And we are about to embark upon the Thanksgiving week. And this is always a very special time in Batavia. It's when many families come together and celebrate. And I'm hopeful that in some instances, despite the pandemic that we are now experiencing, that people will make some efforts to connect with their families, whether it's just over the phone or on the internet, or try to have some kind of a dinner where they do masking and social distancing and take temperatures and just enjoy each other from a distance. Batavia is like everybody else. We're all in this together, and hopefully a year from now we'll have this to look back on and kind of shake our heads as to, boy, was that an experience to go through. But anyway, this is Thanksgiving week of 2020 coming up, and I just hope everybody has a memorable moment or two in it, and that they go forth and enjoy Thanksgiving for all that it's meant to be. I want to start this message today, and maybe I'll call it what I feel is a good piece of news. The City Council and our staff has been in very long deliberation about this coming next year's budget for 2021. And Tuesday night at the Committee of the Whole meeting that they had, the aldermen kind of concluded their dialogue and their discussion, and we all had our chance to throw our 2 cents on top of it. And at the end of the day, we are going to present a budget for approval in December, which will represent no new property tax increase for any Batavian from the city's side of your tax bill. Now, I can't speak for the other governments, but what you paid to the city last year should be what you pay to the city next year. And there's not a lot of governments that can make that claim or that boast, but in our case in Batavia, we are very blessed to have a very conscientious and very well-informed staff that kind of keeps an eye on things and financially keeps our heads above water. And so we're not looking at some of the woe and moe that I'm hearing from a number of my other fellow mayors throughout the region of need to maybe start cutting budgets and reducing employees and terminating services. And for the moment, we'll go forth in that. I will tell you that myself and all the other mayors in the region are making a very close watch on the coming actions of the Illinois General Assembly, because there is great concerns that the Illinois General Assembly is in very deep financial problems, and that there was the possibility that they could be coming to look at some of the municipal revenues that are obtained from the city or by the city from the state. And specifically, there's this thing called the LGDF, the Local Government Distributing Fund, which represents the municipality's share of the state income tax, which was a feature put into the 1970 Constitution, and we've benefited ever since. And in the case of Batavia, it's well over $2 million in revenue that we put into our general fund and help pay for the police and the fire and the public works. And it goes a long way. And for us and all the other cities around here to have that money greatly reduced or taken away from us by actions of the Illinois General Assembly, I can assure you is not going to go down as a quiet and peaceful moment. And if it does happen, you're going to be hearing me speaking about it. And I think you'll be able to read and hear every other mayor in the area speaking about it, because there's a lot of cities that are very concerned about where we are going to go in state finances, and probably also in federal, but at least in state finances in the near term. And so this could be some very challenging times in the months ahead as we try to work our way through what probably could be one of the most difficult financial times that cities have faced in Illinois in some time. So I share that as a kind of a word of warning, not as trying to be negative, but also keep you informed as to what's going to happen with the community and what we're looking at, not only in Batavia, but every other city and village around us would be impacted by this. So hopefully the city's actions are going to keep our finances, again, fairly strong, and we will keep things moving forward. The bad news this week is, I will describe it as coming out of the Batavia Police Department, and we are very blessed in this town to have an excellent police department who really does a super job. But right now they are being overwhelmed and taxed by certain situations that are occurring. And I just want to share a few aspects of the story with you so you understand, because a number of our citizens, the very honest and the most honorable and honest among us, are also some of those who are being impacted by this. And specifically, there seems to be, number one, a lot of crime coming to us via technology or the internet. And there's a lot of efforts by people to get on all the various internet avenues and try to get people to enter into conversation with them and maybe obtain a credit card number, a social security number, some form of identification. This past week we've been dealing with what we think is a scam, where some folks were on the internet trying to get Batavians to quote unquote buy debit cards or gift cards, which then were supposedly going to be sent to some of our local churches as a kind of a community gift. But as we got further into this, we found there didn't seem to be any substance to this. And so we wanted to warn everybody about this, and a couple of our churches have filed police reports with us because some of their parishioners came and asked about it. So let you be aware that that's one of them that's out there. Another one that really has come into our face in a big way is there is a scam going on involving the Illinois Department of Employment Security. And what is happening is that people are filing themselves as the identity of a Batavian. And when I say that Batavian, this has happened since March 1st. Chief Ewell advised me this afternoon that the Batavia Police Department since March 1st has taken 190 reports of attempted theft via the Illinois Department of Employment Security. And the Illinois Department of Employment Security is not the victim. They're the victim here as well as the citizens, because the bad guys are using the Illinois Department of Employment Security, and they're obtaining some limited amount of information about Batavians. And it's not restricted to Batavia. There's a number of other cities, Geneva, St. Charles, a number of them around us are also having the same problem. And what they do is they file and say that they are, in my case, me, and that I've just been laid off by the city of Batavia for a lack of work. And so as a result, the city has gotten 46 of our own city employees, including myself, have been named as and my city administrator, Laura Newman. We've both been named as unemployed and in need of employment benefits. So they then filed this and asked that they be put on to a special program that the state has to keep the unemployed somewhat financed so that they can find another, while they're finding another job. In the case, this is a copy of the letter that I got, and I know Laura got the same letter, and probably the other 188 people so far that we've had in town have also gotten this. And what it says in the letter, it says, our records indicate that the last four numbers of your checking account are 8911. Well, I'll tell you they are not. And at the Bonneville Bank. Now, we don't know where the Bonneville Bank is, but apparently the state has some idea. Any unemployment benefits made payable will be electronically deposited into this account. So in other words, the money's not going to the victim, it's going to whoever the criminal is who's perpetrating this on the internet. If this information is not correct, you can update your bank account number and routing numbers via the internet to www.ids.illinois.gov or contact the agency by phone at the numbers listed. Well, I mean, I think hopefully most people have, and we are asking anybody that this happens to contact in the Batavia Police Department, because we're trying to keep a running record of who all these are, because I think if nothing else, we're trying to get the state of Illinois to come in and get into the records with us and go find the Bonneville Bank and find out who's the benefactor of all the accounts going to the last four numbers of 8911. That's where we got the bad guy. And so we are working diligently on this, but again, it's something that's in our face kind of all over the place, and we are just very frustrated by it because it's involving a lot of well-intentioned people, some of which couldn't afford to have this happen to them. And it just is a very bad thing, and unfortunately it just shows you how easy it is for some people to take advantage of their fellow mankind. So let me liven this up a little bit. I'm starting to sound pretty negative here today. I kind of guess I want to kind of end this by suggesting to you that with the Thanksgiving holiday, as you all know, on Sunday night of that weekend, which is this coming weekend, we always have a big celebration in downtown Batavia about at sunrise, and the Batavia Community Band, with their great talents of the group that has put themselves together, an all-volunteer group, come down to the Peg Bond Center, and they set up their music and their sound system, and they give a great Christmas music concert. And that's followed by introduction by the longtime Master of Ceremonies, Craig Foltos. And then he introduces Allison E. Mella from the Batavia Park District. And Allison talks a little bit about the Park District and what they're doing, and then it gets handed over to me. And then I have the opportunity to welcome Santa Claus, who arrives in town on a Batavia fire truck. And then after Santa gets up on the stage with us, we go to a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 countdown, and we throw the switch and turn on the big Christmas tree, which is on the Riverwalk right there by the waterfall there near Houston Street. And we have 500 to 1,000 people, many of them young parents with small children or grandparents with their grandchildren, come and just love. If the weather is good, people just love this thing. And then the Batavia Library does a holiday book reading thing in the basement of the old Depot Museum. And then there's some church choirs sometimes that come down and walk around and do Christmas carols, and they have horses and carriages, give some rides, and it's just a real flavor of a special time in Batavia. Well, this year, like everything else, from the 4th of July to all the great things we try to do every year, everything got canceled this year, and unfortunately this did too. But we're not going to totally let it die. Yesterday we had a filmed session of this done because with social distancing we couldn't invite the public down. So to read you what we've put out a news release about this. Celebration of Lights virtual viewing will be Sunday, November 29th at 5 p.m. Keep the family tradition of attending the Celebration of Lights by viewing the tree lighting ceremony virtually on Batavia Access TV, BATV. Watch from the comfort of your home as the Riverwalk lights up for the first time this holiday season with a message from Mayor Schielke, a visit from Santa Claus, the highlights of the Christmas Tree Lane presentation by the Northwestern Medicine's All Us Research Program, and a message from some special Batavia guests. That includes Craig Foltos and Allison E. Mel. So this will all be on TV, and Santa will be there, and I'll throw and the Christmas tree will come on, and I'll tell you, we tested it last night, so I know the tree lights. But the beautiful thing about it is the Batavia Park District and the City of Batavia, with some help from the Batavia Township Highway Department and from some other folks that are out there, have probably, I think, it's going to be recognized one of the best light presentations in Batavia in its history. We've gone, hopefully, the extra mile, and we now have 25 decorated Christmas trees on the Riverwalk, starting at the Peg Bond Center and coming around the City Hall by River Rain, and then coming around the east side of City Hall. We've got the Charlie tree, we got the Christmas tree and lights on the island down south of the Wilson Street Bridge, and we've got new letters on the bridge at Houston Street, so that the Peace on Earth's message is sent very loud and clear and in bright lights now. And so we are really going to set Batavia up for a festive atmosphere. So you're not going to be able to drive through Batavia from Sunday night on through well after Christmas through New Year's Eve without getting a real sense that, hey, there's a holiday going on here and we should do something despite the all the issues with health that we're faced with. We do need to recognize that holiday, and certainly I know our churches are going to try to do some creative services and ceremonies in each one of theirs, and they've all got their individual plans, and we're trying to work with them and not try to keep anybody from doing anything that's ceremonial, as long as we can observe the set standards of social distancing and masking and temperature taking. and just keep everybody understanding that this is a thing that we need to be concerned about. So Batavia hopefully is in for a kind of a different Christmas or Thanksgiving season this year, but we think we're as decorated as we've ever been before in history. And so I hope you like what you see, because the city staff, and I'm very proud of them for everything that all of them have done, along with the Park District folks and the Batavia Township folks and all those who have stepped forward and helped out here. We really appreciate everything that's been done, and may you all enjoy it. So I'm going to end this by giving you another wish for a very happy Thanksgiving, and I will look forward to talking to you next week as we really then start to commence the Christmas season, and I'll have more to say about that, plus probably some more updates about the status of the criminal crime situation that's now facing Batavia. Have a good week.